Picture a man so lost in thought, so utterly captivated by the beauty of shapes and numbers, that he would forget to eat, bathe, or even acknowledge a war raging outside his door. This was Archimedes, born around 287 BC, in the bustling Greek port city of Syracuse, right on the coast of Sicily. Now, in ancient Greece, you had philosophers who loved to ponder life's great mysteries in the abstract. But Archimedes, he was different. He was a rare breed, a genius who saw no boundary between the pure logic of mathematics and the messy reality of the physical world. He was an engineer, a physicist, an inventor, and a mathematician all rolled into one extraordinary mind. Think of him as the ultimate intellectual hybrid. While we don't have all the details of his early life, we know he was incredibly well educated, most likely having studied in Alexandria, Egypt, the absolute epicenter of knowledge and learning in the ancient world. When he returned to Syracuse, his life became a relentless quest. It wasn't just about solving problems. It was about finding the most elegant, the most perfect, the most mathematically beautiful solution. This obsession with perfection would drive him to make discoveries that would echo through millennia. And it all started with a simple, everyday task that would lead to one of the most famous moments in the history of science. This legendary moment came when King Hiero II of Syracuse faced a very royal dilemma. He had commissioned a magnificent new crown, supposedly made of pure gold, but he had a nagging suspicion that he worried the craftsman had cheated him, secretly mixing in cheaper silver to pocket the extra gold. The king's challenge to Archimedes was immense. Prove whether the crown was pure gold or a fake. But under no circumstances could he damage the exquisite piece of art. The problem gnawed at Archimedes. He thought about it day and night, turning it over and over in his mind. The breakthrough came in the most unexpected of places, his bathtub. As he stepped into the full tub, he watched the water spill over the sides. In that instant, a flash of insight struck him like lightning. He realized that the volume of water that spilled out was exactly equal to the volume of the part of his body he had submerged. He had found it. The volume of any irregularly shaped object, like a crown, could be measured by the amount of water it displaced. Legend has it, he was so overcome with joy that he leaped out of the bath. This wasn't just a funny story. It was the birth of a fundamental law of physics. Using this insight, Archimedes could now solve the king's problem. He knew that gold is much denser than silver, so a pure gold crown would displace less water than a fraudulent crown of the same weight that was mixed with bulkier, less dense silver. He conducted the experiment, proved the craftsman had indeed committed fraud, and in doing so, established the Archimedes principle, cornerstone of science that explains buoyancy, density, and why massive steel ships are able to float. Now, while Archimedes loved nothing more than to lose himself in the quiet contemplation of geometric proofs, his destiny would be tied to war. Around 214 BC, the mighty Roman Republic set its sights on conquering Syracuse. As the Roman warships appeared on the horizon, Archimedes, the city's most brilliant mind, was called upon to defend his home. He transformed from a reclusive scholar into a master military engineer, turning Syracuse into a death trap for the invading army. His inventions became the stuff of terrifying legend. Imagine being a Roman soldier sailing confidently towards the city walls, only to see a gigantic mechanical claw descend from above. This was the claw of Archimedes. This massive grappling hook would seize a ship, lift it completely out of the water, swing it violently through the air, and then smash it back down into the sea or against the rocks. The chaos and panic it caused were immeasurable. But that wasn't all. Another of his rumored weapons was even more ingenious: the burning mirrors. Archimedes supposedly arranged a series of large, polished mirrors on the city walls, focusing the intense Sicilian sunlight into a single, concentrated beam. He would aim this beam at the wooden Roman ships, and from hundreds of yards away they would spontaneously burst into flames. While historians still debate the exact mechanics and scale of these devices, one thing is certain: Archimedes' war machines were so effective and so terrifying that they single-handedly held off the most powerful army in the world for 3 long years. Ultimately, however, even a genius couldn't hold back the tide of Roman power forever. In 212 BC, the siege of Syracuse was finally broken. The Roman general Marcellus held Archimedes in such high regard that he gave a specific order. The great scientist was to be captured alive and unharmed. But tragedy struck. The most famous account of his death paints a powerful picture. As Roman soldiers swarmed through the city, the elderly Archimedes was found completely oblivious to the chaos around him. He was hunched over, engrossed in a complex geometric problem, drawing figures in the sand, when a Roman soldier barged in and ordered him to come along. Archimedes, annoyed at the interruption, supposedly waved him away, snapping, "Do not disturb my circles." The soldier, insulted by this defiance from a conquered old man, drew his sword and killed him on the spot. Archimedes' death became a timeless symbol of the clash between pure intellectual pursuit and the brutal realities of war. Though his life ended violently, his true legacy was immortal. His surviving mathematical works are breathtaking, containing methods that were nearly 2,000 years ahead of their time, prefiguring the invention of modern calculus. He was the first to accurately calculate the value of pi, and he developed formulas for the areas and volumes of spheres and cylinders. He was buried in an unmarked tomb, but decades later, the Roman orator Cicero found it by recognizing the special engraving Archimedes had requested. A sphere perfectly inscribed within a cylinder. This, the proof he considered his greatest achievement, was a fitting final tribute to a man who truly unlocked the secrets of the universe with nothing but the power of his mind. So, which of Archimedes' legendary inventions do you think was the most terrifying to the Romans? The massive ship-smashing claw, or the mysterious sun-powered burning mirror? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If this story of the ancient genius fascinated you, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the figures who shaped our world. Thanks for watching.